Yo. Oh shit, your camera
Yo.
didn't come up. There it goes. There it goes.
Oh, there we are.
There it is.
What's up, guys?
What up, what up?
Oh my gosh. All right, chat. This is the first time that I have seen the picture behind me.
It looks real good. I didn't know they made posters that big for that movie.
Yeah, so I redecorated my office over the weekend, and I got a new poster.
Look, it's looking good. You're saying
so
a
horrible.
lot. You're saying a lot.
That's so horrible. So what's going on, man? Season 14 is live. It started.
Yeah. It's been juicy.
It's been great, man.
Yeah.
To be completely honest, this is probably the most fun I've ever had at a season launch, which surprises me.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know.
Yeah, sure. I mean, this is the first season I grouped with people from my stream, and then we had a lot of fun. So I think I agree.
Yeah, I had a great time. I randomly grabbed viewers from my stream the night of the season launch, and we leveled up. So 30 minutes before, I raffled off some spots, got some people in, and it was blast, man. We killed it. So they made it a competition between us. Our chats did, even though I didn't know it was a competition between us. And then so I was behind. I was behind like 5 levels when this competition started. So then it was a lot of extra motivation to put in work to try to catch back up. So it was fun. I think that helped make it fun too.
Sure.
So
but
we tied.
You beat him. You beat me. But I didn't set my group up to be like the fastest level 70 group. And so Bloodshed beat the pants off both of us.
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I randomly raffled people, so it was just luck of the draw for me. But I got a good team. We did good.
My team was designed and engineered to take over the Paragon of the world, and that's what we did after the 24 hours.
It took us 2 hours and about 45 minutes ish. I think is around the time frame. Yeah. I didn't have an exact stopwatch on it, but which is not too bad. So it was fun, man. I played Crusader. I'm playing Crusader this season, maining a Crusader.
What happened to Witch Doctor, dude?
So about that, I tried Witch Doctor in the off season, and I said this last podcast. I played 3 or 4 different specs. I can't remember all of the top tier Witch Doctor specs, and they weren't as fun as so many other things that I played. In my opinion, if you like Witch Doctor, it's okay if you have wrong opinions and you love them. But no, I joke about it, but it wasn't as fun to me as Crusader or Necro even. Those are my 2 favorites. So
I started Necro, but I always start Necro and then I play something else.
Yeah. So it was fun, man. I had a good time. How were your drops leveling up?
Well,
did you get things you needed?
We knocked out the GR70 solo in like the first 4 hours.
Yep.
Which was really, really strong. And I think my first good drop was Primal Pestilence chest piece. Pretty decent.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
I still have no Primal actual cons pieces yet. Not too lucky on Primal drops. I got the basic set really, really fast. Like I was super lucky in that. My chat told me I got 70 and I got geared and I started power leveling people in chat instantly on day 1. Like I'm like, come on, let's level people up. And then they were kind of telling me I'm like, I have the gear, I could probably pull off a 70, 75, 80, and they're like nobody's done 75 yet. And I'm like, really? All right, I got to do it. So I started racing for it, but the problem is I had to level up to get to unlock the level 75 Greater Rift. Yeah. And I had only done 20, so I'm like, knocking it out, as fast as you can unlock them. I think it's 5 is what the cap is. I'm not 100% sure. So I'm doing them, and as I'm doing them, I'm starting to catch the leaderboards on Crusader to the top tier. And I know it's day 1, rank 1, not a big thing, but it was fun. And so me and like 1 or 2 other people kept ping-ponging for first and second the entire way up, and then I ended up being the second person to get the 75 unlocked in North America. So I missed first by just a little bit. I haven't pushed really since day 2. I was ranked rank 1 and 2, day 1 and 2, but I haven't done it since. So.
It was funny. So I held rank 1 for like hours with my speed farm build.
Yeah. I had the icons pieces, but like I said, it's not really like a skill thing. It's just a matter of getting lucky and getting the drops, and then trying. It was a sprint to try to get to 75 for me, and the sprint was unlocking the Greater Rift tier to do it, because I couldn't just queue it up, and it was so much fun, man. I had a blast. It took me like about an hour to do all that stuff.
Yeah.
And it was so much fun.
It was a lot of fun holding the leaderboard with the speed farm build. Everyone's playing Pestilence, Cold Lancer, like getting 10-minute clears, and I'm in there getting 3-minute clears at the same level.
Yeah, hilarious. It's awesome, man. And then, so after that, we just kept doing our thing and kept leveling. But I think that's what made this season so much fun for me. Is before in the past, I've always just kind of sat back and relaxed and kind of chilled. And I think people were like, our chat started a little competition between us. Sure. And I don't know, I wasn't watching you to see how involved you were with it, but I definitely wanted to beat you. And it was like,
I thought, because I was 5 ahead of you, I was like, oh, well, I got ThaPChild in the bag. I know.
And that's what made me think, like, that's like, oh, Fluff's got 5 on you. And I'm like, we're not racing. And then they kept saying it. And I'm like, okay, all right, guys, let's go. And I started talking to my party. I'm like, we got to catch him. So we started trying. But it made it fun, man. It made it a lot of a blast. So
as long as we beat Riker, that was the only goal.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. I had a great time with that, and I am still sleep deprived. I can't even just talk.
Deprived, bro.
Deprived. I said deprived.
How long did you go the first night?
So the first night I did 14, and then good. I went to bed. But my kids woke me up 4 hours later. So I got 4 hours of sleep.
Right, kids.
And then I streamed another 14. And then I got 5 hours of sleep. And they woke me up again. And then I did like another. That was Father's Day. So I did the Father's Day stuff.
Yeah.
And then that night I streamed all night too. And then had to get up and go to work. So in the course of 3 or 4 days, I like just didn't sleep. Yeah. Not a lot. I didn't do the 25 like you. I can't beast it that hard.
Yeah, I did 25 and I went comatose for 10 hours and then I streamed for another like 14, 15.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because like that was a really interesting thing to see, because like the people that are above me right now on the Necromancer leaderboard, like it was just before the stream I was ranked 3, but so like I feel like what I did this weekend was like the upper echelon of what like a human can do. I did a 24-hour stream and I followed up with 15 hours.
Did a 25-and-a-half-hour stream. Don't discredit yourself. And on top of that, you were probably up before the stream started. But let's just assume that you woke up and instantly started streaming. So you did 25-and-a-half.
Yeah, and then 15 out of like 48 hours. I did. Yeah. I feel like I did the maximum a human could possibly do, and there's still people with more hours than me. It feels a little sketch.
Yeah, I mean, a couple hours is one thing, but so I did the same math on Sunday night, so it's been a couple days since I did it. But I remember specifically looking at a person that was, because I was checking leaderboards. I think Sunday I was ranked 2, and I was checking the people around me to see what they were at. And there were a couple people below me, and there was a couple people above me on Paragon. But when I checked hours on a couple, it was like, of the possible maximum, it was like all but 2 or 3 or something. Right. It was ridiculous. And I'm like, well, this means that this person has done 40, 49 or 50 something hours straight, or whatever the math worked out to be.
So like the maximum right now could be like what, 96? It's been 4 days.
Started Friday. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 times 24.
Yeah.
Somebody do the math for me. Bad. But it's
yeah.
So that kind of leads me to a question. This was a topic that I was going to talk about later, but we can go. We're kind of getting ourselves into that scenario already.
86-hour uptime. No, 87-hour uptime.
Yeah. Are bots still active? They have to be with those hours.
No doubt.
Unless you're account sharing, they have to be active.
Sorry to call you out, whatever your name is, but come on.
I don't know. That saddens me a little bit because last season we didn't have the bots at the start. Blizzard had managed to break them. I was hoping they were going to do that again this season. But but we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Sure.
The season is going to go until when? Do you remember that season ended?
September 16th.
September 16th. So why do you think it's a big deal to know the end date?
I think it's a huge deal.
It's important.
I think so. This is the first season. If you guys don't know, this is the first season ever where they've announced the end date before the season even started. And we talked about this a little bit last week, but I really want to drive this home because I think this is like huge.
Mm-hmm.
Ending Sunday, September 16th at 5 p.m. at PDT. But we've never...
September 16th.
Yeah.
We know the exact minute that we have to push leaderboards or to do whatever seasonal conquest that you want to get done for the season. I don't even care about that, though. I think something is going to happen.
Right.
At the end.
That's what I'm driving
Something's
towards.
happening.
Yeah. So to me, there's no question. Like something... Why would they tell us the end date first? That's just, to me, it's just like that. That's telling us that like we're gonna get something. We're gonna get something next season.
But BlizzCon's not until November, right?
Yeah. But
so I don't know.
So, going back to that dream scenario where like maybe we get Druid and like a D4 announcement at BlizzCon, like that really like a Druid. They didn't save Necro for BlizzCon. You know what I mean?
Did they? I don't remember the announcement.
It came out like
for Necro.
So BlizzCon's usually November.
Way ahead.
Yeah, and Necro was like February or something like that. So like,
yeah, I think the end date's important for some reason. I think something's going to happen, but the timing with BlizzCon is what a big release like D4 would get dropped at BlizzCon.
Yeah,
Diablo 2 remaster, maybe not. I think that probably would too, though. But the Druid class, I could see them just saying, okay, hey guys, we're going to give you Druid class soon, or do some previews, or maybe that the September 16th date is an end date because they need to start the next season 2 weeks after to make other things line up with other releases.
I wouldn't think it would be like Druid release, but it would definitely be like we're going to announce it and PTR is going to open up at the end of September.
Yeah, definitely could see some PTR time. Yeah. So if we're going to get a PTR, what items would you like to see added to a PTR?
Oh man, like we could get into this the weeks we talk about each class, but I think at the very least, I'll just talk about Necro real quick because Necro's my juice. There's just like a few changes that they could make to Necro that would really kind of put a new spin, and it would require what I call quick wins, and that's like a development term. You guys at Blizzard, I'm sure you guys know that. It's really, really small development that could really kind of overhaul how some of the stuff works on Necro. So first and foremost, one of the things they could do is take Bloodlance rune, take it out of the game. And you might be thinking, well, why would you ever do that? Well, so right now...
Tell people what Bloodlance is in case they don't know.
Bloodlance is a rune on Corpse Lance that makes it cost health, and so if you're using Trag'Oul's set, it's going to do good damage because, the Trag'Oul set buffs blood cost skills.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is, so Trag'Oul's, like the only powerful build for Trag'Oul's is, in fact, Bloodlancer. But Pestilence is just in all ways superior. It plays more smooth. No one really plays Bloodlance anymore. Bloodlance is still really powerful, but like Pestilence is just all around better. So, and I hate when sets share skills. Like that's the worst. Like, Helltooth and Arakr both share Fire Bats. Like just that's so stupid. Don't focus two sets on like one skill. So
I gotcha. I agree.
Take Bloodlance out of the game so that you can buff Trag'Oul's without making Bloodlance the new meta. And that will maybe bring in line some other, like it'll make Blood Mage more powerful. It can make Blood Nova more powerful. It could maybe even up like new opportunities for other builds. Who knows? But that's just one thing. That's a really quick, really fast dev effort. Another thing, number 2, they could do is add an offhand, a phylactery, whatever you want to call it.
One that's useful.
One that's useful, but one in particular is buff the damage of Corpse Explosion and Death Nova by X% for if there are X or fewer enemies.
Yeah. To make a viable Corpse Explosion.
Viable Corpse Explosion, viable Blood Nova build.
Those would be some sick Corpse Explosion T13 builds you can make with that.
Exactly.
So I wasn't really referring as much as the class specific changes as I was, but that's fine. If we're going to go down that road just for a brief second, can you please rework Devour? Please.
What do you mean?
I hate the way that Devour is designed to be spammed. I don't like that it is a button that is designed to be pressed faster than humanly possible all the time.
Engineered for numlock,
yeah, it's a button. It's designed to be macroed or numlocked, and I think that's counterproductive to just the fun of the game, like the feeling of the game. I wish they would redesign that to where it's like a press once every 5 seconds or press.
I think they instead of like that's I feel like that's a lot of dev effort. Instead of doing that, they should just add autocast to the game.
Yeah,
they could just like have it so you like hold right click on a skill or something and it
autocast for you.
It lights it up on the bar and becomes like an autocast thing.
I agree with that's a good idea. It's a good feature. I like that too. But I was talking about for PTR.
Oh, okay.
What about a PTR item generator?
I went on a whole different path.
Yeah, you went down a different path, but that's fine.
So like one of the things we've talked about a lot is like they give us PTR, and since Necro's come out, it's been okay because they have that like Goatman in town, and he gives you a lot of like the Necro stuff, like all the Necro sets, so you can like just keep spamming him and getting like really really good gear. But I think it would be even cooler is if like, and it probably better for the balance of all the builds if you could generate your own items. So like you want Ingyam, and you want to roll damage, attack speed, cooldown reduction, no main stat with socket, to test out how something is gonna like work in the late game. Like you should by all means be able to do that. Like gearing out an area damage set or a cooldown set, like that's all stuff you should be able to do. And time
gate it too. I think some counter arguments to that might be, well, everybody would have everything instantly, and PTR would ruin the fun for the game. It is PTR. I think just time gate it a little bit. So you want people to test how the new class levels or how the new set levels and this and that. That's fine. Do it. But then have a special PTR for like a week where it's just like, okay, there's a primal PTR generator in town. Make whatever items you want. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like go full on. Let's test the max power of all these classes and see what they'll do. Yeah, it would be pretty cool. And I would love to see something like that for PTR. I personally avoid playing PTR because I feel it ruins the experience for me when things go live. I want it to be fresh and fun and feel awesome. I do follow PTRs quite a bit just to kind of see like, well, what are they doing? What are they changing? But I don't play it because I like that. That keeps it fresh for me, personally.
So like,
but if they had an item generator, I don't know if I could resist that.
Yeah. But for me, I'm mostly a streamer, but I'm also kind of a content creator as well. And like, I played at least half of the season of season 11 after they released 2.6.1. At least half of my season was played on PTR, just like play testing absolutely doing everything. And stuff.
Yeah. Yep.
Before the season.
Yeah, I get the need for that for people like us that try to create content and builds, and you focus a lot more on builds than I do. So that's it'd be interesting. Those are some small changes, but I think September 16th, man, maybe.
Yeah, I think I'd be floored if we didn't get anything for next season. I would be floored.
Yeah. Do you think if we don't get any PT or any balance changes again next season, but they step up the theme season game just a little bit, do you think that would be enough to keep your interest, keep you happy?
I mean, I don't require much, but as far as like the community, will it be enough? Maybe not. Maybe not.
Like,
depends on how awesome the theme is, I guess.
So this is we're so far all over the place of the topics. We're all over the place. So I agree, and I've been looking at different themes. I've been on Reddit and seen people posting theme ideas on Reddit, and there's so many of them, and they're so good. And one of them that instantly I was like, oh, that would be amazing. There was a Reddit post by a guy, his name is To Be Ruined, and he said, what about LON? Like a LON theme season. And to me, that instantly is just like, oh, that would be amazing.
That'd be
if for this one season they buff LON.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, buff the items with LON. Maybe give you base LON built in the game without even having the items on. I mean, there's so many things.
Fuck. So you could wear rings and lawn. Jesus.
Yeah. I mean, that would be ridiculous. Too much power. But do you have theme ideas? Like, what jumps out at you, man? What would you be like? Ooh. I've seen crazy things. Like, I've heard things like, what if they had a season of famish or a theme of famish, and that's like legendary drop rates are back to vanilla, where you get like one legendary a day. You know what I mean? Or like,
I've seen
all these crazy ideas.
Because if we still get Hadric's gift, I don't think that would be like the end of the world. But if we didn't get Hadric's gift and we got vanilla drop rate, oh my god, could you imagine?
Yeah. It would be horrible. That would be horrible.
It would be bad.
I don't think I would enjoy that personally.
It'd be different though. Like, I'm down, man.
It would definitely switch it up. Yeah. I'd play it. I'd grind it. Yeah. You know, I'd get that full set. But there's so many different ideas that I've seen where they could do with this.
Yeah.
And those things are easy. Like, the lower drop rates, I think, would be an easy modifier. Would be easy. You know.
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
Turn some numbers down.
Quick.
You know.
Yeah.
Or they could even churn it up, or you know, I don't know. I don't know if you could really turn it up.
Double drops, double goblins, now double
season
drops.
Season of primals, you know what I mean, or something. I don't know.
Double primal drop rate. That might be interesting.
Yeah,
that'd be interesting.
It would.
My concern is like next season it's gonna be like double XP.
No,
it's just like that's their whole dev effort. Next season's double XP and they'll like not do anything else. That's my worst case scenario.
That would be bad. And that would be bad. And the reason so is like all that seasonal Paragon. Could you imagine the seasonal Paragon?
Oh my god.
When it gets dumped over to non-season, you'd have like 8, 9. You know, is there a Paragon cap? Is there a cap at 8,000?
There's no cap.
Is there there's no hard cap?
No.
8, 9, 10,000 Paragon players running around.
Yeah, that'd be nuts.
T13s and white items.
Non-season would be like fucked.
Yeah, get destroyed.
Yeah.
Speaking of leaderboards, though.
Yeah.
Because with all that power, you could push it.
Yeah. So far this season on leaderboards.
I think Necro's probably top, if I were to guess.
Yeah, I'd say that too, just because Necro, we get a lot. We can grind through the rifts like really fast. We're squishy as fuck, but we can get through them like real quick, and then we kind of hit a cap until we get more Paragon. So like Necros are at 108. I personally have 105. Okay. I'd say probably Crusader would be after that.
Crusader's probably second.
110!
Oh, man.
What?
That's crazy. Somebody's been putting in work today.
What? Holy 87 hours, 26 minutes played. Good. Sweet.
So how many hours were possible? Yeah.
God damn. So Crusader's top dog.
Right. We're looking at leaderboards, and this brings up a topic that I wanted to... What if you added a Paragon leaderboard filter where you could, a Paragon leaderboard too? Do you think that would be something that would be cool to have for a seasonal?
I think like that kind of goes into some of the topics I've been wanting to talk about for a while, is like have all these filters. So like we've talked about having like a speed leaderboard. We've talked about having like a spec leaderboard. Mm-hmm. We've talked about, different kinds of leaderboards. And then I'm like, when we're going through some of that, it's like, well, all they really had to do is add filters. And so if they add a filter, like I want the top GRIC to be 90, like you would kind of have like a built-in speed leaderboard. And if you kind of said, I only want to see like N6, M4 when I'm looking at the leaderboard, then like you have a spec leaderboard basically built into the game. So having a ton of filters like that, and like you said, you could have a Paragon filter. Like I'm the highest, at 2K Paragon, I'm the highest by far on the leaderboard or whatever. Like that, you'd have a leaderboard for like everything, and it'd be great. That'd be really cool.
Yeah, it's something to me that I think this kind of goes back to the botting thing, and how if people are legitimately playing, I feel so bad for them, because you see these people that there's probably some legit people that grind crazy amounts of Paragon.
Yeah.
And as soon as anybody sees them, like, oh, botter,
Yeah.
So
it's true. There could be actual legit players putting in insane amount, like trust fund babies or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Insane amount of hours, but like they get almost discredited because it's just like it's so rampant with other bots.
Because it's so bad.
But that would be another cool thing too. Maybe in this filter, it's like you could filter hours played.
Hours played. Yeah. Yep. I think that's the real telltale for me right now is when I look at somebody, I don't look at Paragon anymore. I look at hours played.
Yep.
And if it's like 20, 22 plus hours for month straight, it's like I've done the grind. I've done, 20 hours a day for 2 or 3 days. And it's unbelievable. Like your body hurts so bad. Yeah. You're like, go to sleep. I don't see how people could do it. But that would be really cool. I would love to see that thing. Those things implemented at least in Diablo 4 if they have leaderboards in that systems. Do you think the pushing matters in a season early on? Do you think
this is this is such a controversial subject amongst streamers because some streamers will push and like it gets people excited and it's always fun to watch someone push and there's statistically a lot more viewers at the start of every season and it gets people hyped up. Like if you see so Quinn69 he's playing Diablo again right now and he's pulling in insane viewers,
massive numbers, especially viewers. For Diablo.
But he's like he's one of the Diablo grandfathers. Like he should have crazy viewers, but like he's pushing leaderboards. It's what he does. Like he'll play like hardcore. He'll play for like a week or whatever. He'll push the leaderboards, and maybe after that week he like walks away and like I was rank 1, suck it, whatever.
Right.
But like and then there's people that come into the stream like I was pushing rank 1 the start of the season, like getting it down pretty easy, and we would celebrate after we got rank 1 every single time.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And like people just jumping in chat, just being like, "Oh, early season push, like that matters." Like,
right. Yep.
And I'm like, I understand that, right? Like,
I got the same thing. Like, I got rank 1 several times on the first couple of days of Crusader 2, and every time we did it, it was fun, man. It was so much fun. And I get it's like rank, who cares?
Sure.
It's early day, but it's a lot of fun. Sure. And I got the same thing. Rank 1 day 1.
Yeah.
Who cares? I'm like, well, it's fun.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know.
I get their point. So early season pushing, like a lot of people like just farm it out like crazy because it's not really efficient to push the leaderboards early in the season. It's just efficient to like grind out XP. But like how many people are really sticking around like 2-3 months in the season at this point? And so it's like,
it's more of a luck factor than anything. It's like, did you get lucky enough on the first day to get the pieces you need to push high? And then if you did get those lucky and get those pieces, then do you have the skill to actually push it?
But I think
I think that's what's fun for me is because it's separated. Like the bots didn't really affect those first couple days at all.
Sure.
It was random luck, and can you play the class?
Sure.
But
so that's a perfect. I like pushing the first couple of weeks because I'm more in touch. Like I'm like that gap is smaller for when the bots just like take off, and so like I'm always pushing rank 1 the first couple of weeks because like and I have like half the time played of the people that I beat out like all the time. But when it becomes to the point where it's like I have a quarter of their time, I have an eighth of their time, like I can't compete anymore. So it's like for me, it's pretty exciting pushing early season. But yeah, I definitely hear what people are saying with like, well, it's not really efficient, so not a lot of people are doing it or whatever. But
and that circles back around to the Paragon cap argument.
Sure.
It just goes right back around to the Paragon cap, and I'm personally against the Paragon cap argument because I think the people that play legit and can grind that hard should be rewarded for that investment.
Yeah.
But that's only in a perfect world where there's no way to cheat the system by botting, Sure. So with the botting, if they legitimately don't have the resources or the skill to stop bots, then I would be all about a Paragon cap. So,
sure. Exactly. I agree with that too.
Yep.
Like, and even if they do fix them, like you might as well try it for a season. Like, just try it for a season. Like, just do it.
The season of Paragon cap.
Yeah, that's the same season. 2K Paragon.
Right.
Season 2K. Why 2K?
Season 2K. Right. I'd be down. I didn't even hit 2K last season. I only hit 1830. And I played a lot. So, I mean, I could have definitely been more efficient and hit 2K if I knew that there was a cap. I could have done it, but. Mm-hmm. Other things like add-ons, I've been talking about this a lot.
Sure. Real quick to just jump back to the season theme idea. One of the reasons we're bringing up the season themes is like we want to hear some of you guys' ideas, and so like we try to propose a question every week that you can comment on YouTube, you can tweet at us if you're listening on the podcast onto like iTunes or whatever. But let us know some of you guys' ideas for theme seasons. I'd be very interested to hear some of that because I know there's gonna be a lot of weird ideas out there. So we're welcome to all of them. So
I would love to hear your guys' feedback on the theme season. So like Fluffy just said, tweet us, Discord, message us. There's so many ways to get a hold of us. Whatever it is, love to hear it. So, and we'll talk about your guys' responses next week. Sure. If the good ones, we can pick out some of the good ones and then
or even
talk
some of the really bad ones.
And maybe somebody up there will hear them and be like, "Ooh, that is a good idea." Yeah. It's like those Lay's potato chips, man. You could have a potato chip.
What are you talking about right now?
Have you seen those? Lay's is making potato chips that like people are tweeting Lay's potato chip flavors and they're making them. What? And if your flavor wins, you get $1 million.
What?
And so, fuck? I went to the store the other day at the office and we bought like all these funky flavors of potato chips. They were all disgusting, by the way. It was like toasted ravioli was one.
Toasted
biscuits ravioli. And gravy.
That's a St. Louis chip. Did it even work in your demographic?
No. and biscuits and the gravy and like lemon flavor. It was horrible, man. It was horrible. Yeah. So, but get your ideas out there.
Yeah.
The theme season I think is a cool concept, and I really hope they expand on it because I think if they don't have the dev power to keep tweaking and giving us changes, if they can expand on this more and just make it a little bit more drastic, I think that this could at least keep us entertained until we get D4.
Yeah, I agree. So,
but yeah, the leveling specs, yours worked out pretty well for you.
Oh my god, yeah. So yeah, if you haven't checked out the season 14 starter guide, oh my god, Necro's like the pestilence set is so good, and a lot of people are like they come in, they're like, Blightspear has a really high CDR requirement, but we prove it over time and time again that all you got to do is roll whatever into CDR. Like the gear can be the worst possible stat roll you can imagine. You're gonna be flying through 70s like day one. And so many people have come to the channel and they're like, oh my god, this is the greatest thing I've ever experienced, the greatest thing I've ever started out with. Thank you so much, blah blah blah. But it's great, man. It's such a great starter build. So it's the same thing
for Crusader. People come in and ask for gear checks all the time, and it's cooldown. I don't care what Addons pieces you get your cooldown to 56%.
Yeah.
And then that's it. That's all you need, and you're doing 70s instantly. You need the Frighter's Wrath shield and Addons. You don't even have to have a weapon, and you can do 70s. But you see people like trying to roll damage and other things, and I'm like, no, cooldown. Yep. Always cooldown on everything.
Yeah.
And so you get that.
And it's 56%. Like it's such a because we're always telling people like stick to the stat priority, watch the stat priority, and it's such like a controversial thing to throw stat priority out of the window and just freaking roll cooldown and you'll be good to go at the start of the season. Yep. After that,
but my sheet damage is 200,000.
After that, focus on your stat priority, but get that first set to CDR, you're golden.
With Crusader, I ended up having to level with Blessed Hammer, and I thought it was going to be a lot worse than it was. It was okay. I don't remember if you remember Blessed Hammer spec, but that's kind of where the stutter step was at least introduced to me. The Blessed Hammer stutter step, where you could just smash it, and people were binding Force Walk to their scroll wheel so they could just spin their scroll wheel and have the stutter steps come. It did pretty good. So we paired up with 2 Necros and then the Blessed Hammers, and so we would kill the trash. And once we killed a couple pieces of trash, the Corpse Explosion Necros would just decimate everything on the screen.
Yeah, and so I had my team roll, like I had my team save their. So we did the typical rat run because we knew that's what we were going to focus on, like the first 24 hours or whatever. And so I had my team focus on trying to get Corpse Whisper. So like none of us at level 1 had anything juicy to like level with. We didn't roll the mage ring. They tried to get the double mages, which is great if you're trying to just level really fast. But like I was like, save your blood shards, get those core swifts. That's gonna be the most important thing once we hit.
And did you get them?
We did, yeah. And
nice.
Blightspirit carried my team from Paragon 100 to like 450 until finally we got Chuck Norris, my other mod, with Rathma, and then we just started flying after that.
Then it was just game over.
Yeah, we had 752 Paragon after 24 hours.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I thought you were like 780 or something. You guys were crazy high.
Yeah.
Crazy high. We did day 2 or day 3. I couldn't take it anymore. I had to get in rats. Like you have to get Paragon. You know, I did viewer runs the first couple of days, and I was like almost 700. But I'm like, I need some rats. So I built a Z Necro, and it God, it's so easy to gear it out. It took me 30 minutes. 30 minutes, craft half the set. If it took me about 1,000 Death Breath, that was the only real sync that I was getting nervous. I was going to run out of Death Breath, but I didn't. And then it's good game, man. Just start, plowing through things.
Yeah. And like early season rats aren't like the worst thing because it's exciting to like fly through the Paragon, and
you can get your gems leveled up too. Yeah.
And so one thing that we've been doing this season is like, so I don't want to just be one of those streamers that runs rats 24/7. So like what we'll do is like I'll have like 20 keys. We'll all just like my level group we'll have 20 keys in the bank, and then so for like 1 hour, 2 hours a night we'll do like 20 keys, and then like then we just call it, and then we go back to doing whatever we think is fun. And that's kind of the one things we've been doing.
I mix it up back and forth. I flip flop between playing the Crusader and the Rat, and I do the same thing. So it's, I'll do 5 or 6 games on the Crusader, and then I'll grab a Rat team, and then we'll play for 7, 8 games or keys, and then I'll flip back and can go back and do it. And the cool thing is I get to teach people how to do Rats a little bit too, because a lot of people still don't know what it is, even though it's been around for 3 seasons.
Right.
They're still like, I'm not really sure, what's a rat? And so I go into the explanation and tell them, and then they see us playing it and they're like, ooh, I want to get in that. Mm-hmm. And then, so sometimes I'll bring in new people and try to teach them how to play it, but that can either go really well or really, really, really bad.
Right. So, yeah. And we get that question. We get that question all the time. Like when season starts, it's like, Fluff, can I get in your group? Fluff, will you carry me? Guys, if you didn't know, this guy is like the nicest guy on Diablo. He's constantly like, he's doing viewer runs. He does power levels for people sometimes. Like, that's your guy, okay? That just he's your man. He's the man.
Fluff?
We do. If that's what you're looking for out of my channel, guys, I am sorry. It's probably not going to happen.
It's the complete opposite. I do a little bit of both. So I do viewer runs a lot, but then I also have what I'll call them my ringers. Like I have my guys that I know are good.
Sure.
And so if I've been having a couple runs with bad teams, like people that don't really know what they're doing and things like that, because I still want to get Paragon and still level my stuff up, So I, at some point I'm like, okay, I need to get a team that's really good. Then I'll just handpick. I'll say, hey, are you in the chat? Let's do a rat teams together or something, and get teams going. I like doing it early in the season, and I don't even care if the runs take me 5 or 6 minutes because you can get those gem ups, like getting those early gem ups. Like on a Crusader, your esoteric is so important to keep you alive. So I wanted to get that up as high as I possibly could, So,
yeah. I love the people that jump in and chat, like, I hit 70 and you're like, can I get a power level, bro? I was like, no!
I wasn't even 70 yet, and somebody asked me that. And they were legit. Like they were 100% legit. I think I was like 64 or something. And they say, hey, will you carry me real quick? And I'm like, is he serious?
Just wait
right now. Okay, come on, man. Come on, dude.
There's people that spam like the public channels looking for power level, like 1 hour into the season.
I was carrying people pretty quick. It wasn't 1 hour.
Yeah.
But I definitely did some runs just to help people out. And my thought process was, at least in my community members, it wasn't random people, but the community members that are around a lot, if I can get 10 of these guys level 70, then they can all just start kind of helping out, and it blew up pretty fast where we had a lot of people doing carries. So it was cool.
That's nice.
Yeah, it was fun. I started to get into this and we sidetracked a little bit. Add-ons and Diablo. What do you think?
I mean, I probably have a very unpopular opinion on add-ons. I like keep them away. I don't want them. Because I'll tell you why. So like things like a lot of cheaters use Turbo HUD, right?
Yep.
And Turbo HUD, one of the things that Turbo HUD does that to me, like, it's game altering, and it's almost you're not even playing Diablo anymore, is that it shows you where you're supposed to go. And that is the worst. Huge. It's the worst. Because like,
tell,
yeah, go ahead.
You could tell if you're if you get in a rat team with a necro or a barb, like, usually the necro leads the team, but you can tell when the guy's using Turbo HUD. Like, it is so obvious. In like 2 rifts, you're like, this dude's using Turbo HUD. He is instantly spot on every single elite ever, never misses an elite. And he never, ever, ever goes the wrong way, you know? And it's such an advantage. Like, those runs go from being like 3-4 minute runs to like 2 minute runs because you're instantly ping ponging from elite to pylon, never going the wrong direction.
Right. Ever. And people, it drives me crazy too, because people are
like, it's not cheating.
It's not that big of an advantage. I'm like, dude, you're like so far in your Turbo HUD world that like you don't even remember what it was like to not use it.
Yeah, Like I don't even really want to talk about it because I'm afraid I'm going to glorify it and people are going to go out there and start using it more.
Nah, man.
It is. There are some things that it adds to the game though that I think I would like to see Blizzard adopt.
Such
marking players' names on the minimap. Like when you look at the minimap and
I think
it would
you do
say
like colors. That would probably be way easier.
That's what I'm saying. Anything. That would be cool. Moving. I'm not 100%, but I think you can move your buffs around where you want them to go. I don't know about that for sure. So, but I think you could put like convention of elements somewhere on the screen if you wanted to. There are just little things that I think that add-ons would solve a lot of those problems. What I don't want to see is damage meters. And I love that the fact there's no damage meters in Diablo.
I think actually kind of disagree with that.
Really?
Yeah.
I think it pigeonholes you even more into playing specific specs. And it's like,
but like we're not already.
Yeah, we are. But I think it's going to. You're going to get in the game and you're going to be like, you're not running this spec and your damage is below 3 million. Kick. I think it would intensify that elitism so much more. As soon as you get into a game, any public game, people are going to be like, oh, you suck. You're not pulling 5 million damage or 50 million damage or whatever the requirement is.
But maybe you don't know that you're not doing it. So like someone needs to tell you, hey, like, so like there's been a ton of cases like you're doing rat runs and like one of the DPS is like doing all the damage.
You can tell. You could usually tell. It's that guy that's dead a lot.
Sure, he's dead a lot, or like he's surviving, and like you can feel the times. But sometimes
play devil's advocate to me. I actually like the argument because I like to hear both sides.
Because I think it would be really interesting, even like so you can't. I don't really think you could successfully do like a DPS meter. I don't think that could be a thing. But I think at the very least you could be like, okay, rift's over. This player did this much damage. This player did this much damage. I think that would just be like a cool thing to see. Is it like the most accurate representation of how the rift went down? No, but it's still like cool. It's like post game stats. Who doesn't love that? So
what about this? What about you leave the in game fighting the way it is, but you add an arena or an area in town that has test dummies and target dummies that have meters on them, where like you could reset them, like a meter will pop up, a UI pops up on screen, and you could beat up a dummy and it will show you your DPS or your total damage or whatever, and then you could play with your builds there. But when you're in the real world, it didn't tell you.
I mean, that'd be interesting, but like,
you're like, no, that sucks.
Well, I mean, like in-game based builds, like what does that do for you? Like, yeah, part of damage in Diablo is cooldown reduction, and what's a dummy gonna do for you?
I would be I think my holdup is I think I would err to the side of maximum damage. I would be one of the people that is like, let's maximize every ounce of DPS out of this build that we can. And I think it would be a huge focus for me at that point. Once it was introduced, I would be like, oh, amazing. Now that's all I would focus on.
But you can kind of do that now. Like you can head over onto this little thing called D3 Planner, and you can change your stats around as much as you want, and you can see exactly how it affects your skill damage. It's like, do we need a test dummy in the game? I don't know. Maybe
I don't know either.
Diablo could build this into their own website.
It's something that's brought up a lot, though, is the test dummy idea and the add-ons idea. I would love to see add-ons make it to the game that let me alter my UI. That's what I want. I want to be able to change my UI. I want to be able to put names on the map. I want to be able to put cooldowns and ability bars and remove the griffins from the side of my bar and like just things like that. You know, or the dragons or whatever they're.
I like even playing WoW. Like I'm super casual WoW player, but I hate that it's just like flooded with add-ons, and like some of them don't work with each other, and it's just like this. You got to update them all. It's just this mess of blah.
I agree with that too, and I also think, at least from a content creator point of view, everybody having a consistent UI is great for your content, because when somebody watches what you're doing, like, they're seeing what they see too. Like they understand what they're looking at, and so I get that point of it as well. So I don't know. I'm talking myself in and out of the UI changes in this whole conversation a million times.
Could you imagine like in Diablo if they had like UI add-ons? Like, so we obviously get a ton of questions like about the builds we're running and stuff like that, but we have to answer like add-on questions too. Like, oh my god.
I answer. What question do you think you get the most? Like what do you think? Do you have a go-to question?
Well, I mean, if you want to talk about the top 3 questions on my YouTube channel, one is, are you gay? Well, the other one is, I'm not your boy, which is great. It's not really a question, but no, I think the number one question I get, probably at the start of every season is like, why are you using that offhand? Like that offhand doesn't do anything for your build. Like, why are you using it? That seems really stupid. And I was like, it's just a stat stick. It's just a stat stick.
Yeah. And if you haven't played Necro, you get that.
Sure.
The question that I get more than anything ever is, what class is the best? And it's always phrased just like that. What class is the best?
Sure.
And it's like, well, solo, group.
Sure. That's the same. Yeah. What's the best Necro build? Like, well, what do you mean for what? Speeds? Solo,
tell me what you want to. What do you want to know? What are you going to do? Are you going to play solo? Are you going to play group? You're going to play. It's like, my answer is always either Crusader or Necro. But I have to filter them a little bit.
Sure. What's your CDR? What's your CDR? That's probably the number one.
What's your CDR? Yeah. What's your CDR? What's your damage sheet? But I think I get more than anything, and still surprisingly, when I'm running rats, which I don't run rats all the time on stream. I'm like you. I don't want to be a streamer that's like always running rats 24/7. I don't think it's entertaining to watch.
No.
And I don't think it's entertaining to actually play and do that.
Right.
But when I am doing rats, I always get, what are rats? Every time I do it, I get, what's a rat?
Yeah.
So, and it's like it's surprising
Blizzard
to me that many people,
like, they should make a community thing right there on the launcher for rat runs. I think they really should. Yep. It's gonna sell them copies of Necro, like
you would think. But I remember the first time I saw rats, I saw people running it, and it was like, ooh, that looks amazing.
Yeah,
you know, it was interesting. And I think everybody that sees it for the first time has that same feeling, even if it's a year later. They're like, is that a 105 that they're destroying in 2 minutes? How are they doing that? So, but those are the two. And they don't do much with the Blizzard launcher anymore. It's always advertising other games.
Well, actually, it's funny you say that, because this is the first time they have in quite some time. They actually did feature Bloodshed and Leviathan on day one of the season, which, it's great. At least they're featuring somebody.
Yep.
And Leviathan, he's done a ton of work for the solo self-found, so he should definitely have some kind of article on him.
But when I launched the Blizzard launcher up, I had to scroll to the right to see that.
That's true. That's also true.
It was not on the main page, which is,
And can we appreciate those two photos, like Leviathan with your cute little finger their little supple lips, and Bloodshift is like, "Yo, what up, dude?"
I don't remember the photos, to be honest with you. I just remember those.
I liked them.
Oh, that's funny. But yeah, I remember thinking, like, I used the launcher obviously to launch the game, and I didn't see it, and somebody said that somebody came in stream and told me, and I was like, oh really? And I went and looked and checked it out.
Yeah.
So, and that's all.
It made me go check. It made me go check my Twitter. I was like, oh, did I miss something? I was like, no, they hate me. I remember now.
Right. I checked my email. Oh wait, no, still nothing. Still dry. They hate me. Yeah, I legitimately feel that way, but I'm not going to get into that.
Sure.
So, we got some Twitter questions. You want to talk about a couple Twitter questions?
Let's do it.
You got any other season 14 things that you really wanted to hit into?
No, I can't. Not that it's off my head.
Covered all your stuff.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm happy with this season so far. Sure. It's been more entertaining and more engaging than I expected it to be.
How much has Diablo Goblins really affected your season, you think?
Funny you should ask that, because one of our questions is about that. So, we'll save that, because I don't know exactly which question is. We got a lot of questions today. Okay. So thanks everybody that asked the question. If I didn't answer yours, it's because we had a lot more than usual. So keep them flowing in, guys. The first question comes from Nerdy Skydiver. And he said, do you think we'll see 120 plus greater rifts because of double goblins and fast progression? Higher than last season, do you think it influences progression? I think the question, like, we already had 120s last season. So I think the question that he's asking is, do you think people are going to get into higher, greater rifts than last season because of the double goblins? Do you think it's going to affect that?
Not really.
I think it gave you a little bit of boost in the start, like the first day or two of the season, for people that are hardcore enough to push that high. But after that, I don't think so. I mean, I don't really think so either.
Someone in chat just asked, how do I tweet questions? So I'm Lord _Fluffy, and he is ThaPChild, I think. Just
ThaPChild.
Yeah.
I am ThaPChild. Yep. So you can do that. Tweet the questions at me,
or join either of our Discords.
Yep. Yeah, my Discord is honestly where I get most of them. Okay. So, but
anyways, sorry.
That's fine. No, it's good. Demonic Grizz asked, if they announce D4 today and we're giving us all new classes and builds, we get to pick one. What would you pick? And it can't be something previously in the Diablo universe. We get this question, like variations of this question, like every week. I can already answer this for Lord Fluffy. I'm pretty sure he's gonna pick a Death Knight.
Yeah.
Dark, evil Death Knight. Melee class.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And I don't really care, man. I like everything. So give me something.
You gotta pick something.
Elemental.
You gotta pick something.
Last time I picked the Elemental, I kind of actually like the Death Knight idea, like a Lich King, like from WoW. I get so much flack every time.
Just as long as it doesn't play like Death Knight, because Death Knight plays slow as F, and WoW. I hate Death Knight in WoW.
I get so much flack for WoW. Like my chat has made it a game that every time that I even mention anything WoW related,
this dude loves WoW.
They're like, drink, you know?
Yeah.
And so it's like a game that's being played. And apparently they just informed me this week that instead of saying intelligence, I say intellect, or vice versa. I don't know which one Diablo has and which one WoW has. But I say intellect. I'm pretty sure I say intellect. And they just told me I do this. And I'm like, I've been doing this for years. Really?
I didn't even know this.
Yeah, apparently I do that. I don't know either. But Anonymous says, why is Witch Doctor so bad? And what can Blizzard do to make the class better?
Like, and we get this question a ton right now. Like, there's always a class.
I don't think it's bad.
Yeah, there's always a class that's at the bottom of the totem
It's just
pole.
at the bottom.
Right. There's no bad class right now, post 2.6.1. But there's always going to be a class that's performing at the bottom. But everything is powerful. This
historically has been the most balanced it's ever been.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, so it just so happens that like Lord Fluffy was just saying, Witch Doctor's at the bottom of the barrel. And if they do another balance patch, I would expect them not to be at bottom of the barrel anymore. You know, but somebody will take that role, you know. But it's okay. I mean, a lot of people love it, man. I think Big Daddy's playing a Witch Doctor again this season, isn't he?
He's hardcore Witch Doctor.
I mean, he's hardcore Witch Doctor. So
we'll get into a podcast that we talk about what they could change with the Witch Doctor, but yeah.
CT88 says, what does Fluff think is the best bounty farming spec for a Necro?
God damn. This is probably another super common question. So there's a few. I think Blood Mage is the easiest one. Blood Mage with Stewart's Greaves. It's really powerful. You can get your mages up. You don't have to wait on Essence or anything like that. I also actually kind of like Army of the Dead, which is a build I haven't really touched in a long time. But anything that can run Stewart's Greaves and isn't super reliant on in-game is going to be really powerful. I also like Singularity Speed, but running a generator instead of Simulacrum. It's pretty good because even if you can proc in-game on a bounty farm build, it's pretty great. And then like once you're over like 1500 Paragon, I actually really like Blood Nova as well for bounties.
Singularity is what I ran when I played Necro, and I had to agree it was pretty fun, but I didn't try a lot of other builds to do it. Singularity worked so well that I was just happy with it. So
yeah. But that's it.
Darren says, how has the theme season experience been for you so far? It's cool, man. Like, I've seen double blood goblins at the start of the season, and I was excited.
I have noticed.
I was like, oh,
I have more
it's cool.
DBs than I have like mats to use them with. So that's good.
Here's the question for you. How long have you locked up your screen killing a double blue pack?
All the time.
a gelatinous.
I actually tried to
I counted the seconds.
Yeah.
I counted the seconds the other day. We killed them, and I go 1, 2, 3. It was 6 seconds of delay before the loot explosion happened. It was amazing. That makes me feel so good, and I have no idea why it is, but the longer you can lock the server up with that loot explosion, it feels so good.
Yeah.
So, but I have to agree. I never thought about that. I had those 1,000 Death's Breath to re-roll that Sea Necro, and this is the first season that I remember not being Death's Breath starved off the start of the season, and that's kind of cool. So yeah,
I've definitely run out of mats before DBs, and I don't think that's ever happened for me.
Yeah, yep, I agree with that. Snuff says, with the bots being so popular and given every time they get banned, they get a way around it to fix it. Would you like to see it possible to filter leaderboards by Paragon to see where you compare to legit players? Yeah. We actually talked about that exact same thing. So yep, I would love that.
Yep. And then that would add all those features into the game that we've talked about before, like speed boards, spec boards, all that stuff.
Yep.
Which would be fantastic.
And then HL Martinez says, would you rather stay in a luxury hotel for a weekend or go camping and be surrounded by beautiful scenery?
Camping.
Hotel.
What?
100%. 100%.
You need to travel more, dude.
I'm not doing the bugs and the tents and sleeping on rocks.
But beautiful nature, like that's what, like, half of the reason I travel is to see like these crazy landscapes and beautiful scenery. I don't want to get some 5-star. You can keep your 5-star hotel. I say in like hostels and shitholes, because you don't. If you're going on vacation and you're staying in your hotel, guys, you're doing it wrong. You're not, like, that's where you go to sleep. Okay, experience the culture, experience the place that you're going. Get out of that hotel. Stop dropping $300 on a 5-star hotel.
I'm about that. I'm about getting out and seeing the things. But when it's time to go to sleep,
just get a bed.
I don't want to sleep on an air mattress with sticks poking me in the back. I want that nice soft bed, especially if you're taking 30,000 steps.
Yeah,
can't do it.
Just get a bed, man. You're gonna if you take 30,000 steps in a day, you're gonna pass out regardless of what you sleep on.
It doesn't matter. Doesn't even matter, huh?
No.
I have one more question, but we kind of talked about this too. This is from every run, because I literally had 5 or 6 people ask me this. What season theme would you like to see next season? And we talked about that already, and that is what we can close with, because we want you guys to tell us what you want to see.
Yeah.
Tweet at us, drop us Discord messages, YouTube comments, come in the streams and say something. I would love to get ideas to talk about on that, because I really hope we can maybe get traction on some really good ideas and see if we can make it happen. That would be so cool. So
because all the devs are in here right now.
All of them, guaranteed. They're tweeting me right now.
Yep.
So that's gonna be it, guys.
Did we just finish
season
on
14
time?
is live.
Wow,
on time. We got to keep this one on time. It's season 14. We got grinding to get to.
We gotta get back on.
We got to grind. So thanks for hanging out. If you guys want to catch more of me, I am ThaPChild. You can find me at ThaPChild everywhere: Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, all those things.
Yeah. I'm Lord_Fluffy. Double those underscores on the Twitters. That's it, dudes.
Thanks for hanging out.
Yeah. Peace out, bros.